Hi!
Hello, and welcome to this 4th episode of Dear Booksplosion. I'm Christine.
I'm Jesse.
I'm Kat.
And we're Booksplosion. We're a book club. We do read-alongs every month and then have a live show discussion about that book with y'all. This month we are reading Frankly in Love by David Yoon, which hit number 2 on the New York Times bestseller list. Congratulations to David. It's so good. I just finished it yesterday. I read it so fast because I loved it so much.
I'm really excited to finish it. I've only just started it.
I have 3 pages left. I'm loving it.
Nice. So here we do a live advice podcast-esque episode at least once a month. And today we are taking your questions that you sent in to emailsareawesome@gmail.com. And next month, we're just going to start it off right now. Next month, we're doing a themed month in October, and we want you guys to write in with your biggest fears and anxieties. And you can put those in the forms of advice, or you could just write about them and we'll, talk about ours in comparison. And or you can write like what your boggart would be, anything.
Sort of spooky Halloween related. Like, what's the scariest thing that ever happened to you, or paranormal experiences?
Or your biggest fears and anxieties and what your boggart would be. And yeah, we're going to start doing like themed episodes every month. We think those are going to be super fun. And yeah, let's get started today. Who wants to kick us off with an advice?
I've got an advice here, so I'll kick us off.
That's it.
All right. Stop being cheesy now, maybe. Okay, so this one says, Dear Booksplosion, so last year I kind of accidentally joined my school's theater class, and surprisingly, I actually really loved it. Next year we are doing a production of Beauty and the Beast, and I was considering trying out for Belle, but now I'm having serious second thoughts. I just don't think I'm good enough to sing to get the part, and I don't think I have the right vocal range. The main problem is that I'm way too scared to audition for it in front of my entire class, who will all be silently judging me for my performance. Please help me. What do I do? We don't know where it comes from. Did we just?
No. But wait, they hold auditions in front of the whole entire class. They don't pull you into a different room.
That's what it seems like.
That doesn't feel right. And the Red Wolf, I am. Sorry, I just had.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I did auditions before for a school play. It wasn't in front of the whole class, but it was in front of everyone else who was auditioning.
I did auditions, and mine were both in like separate. Mine was on stage with the curtains closed, like behind the stage with the lady, and also in a chorus room with no one in it but the lady.
That's nice for you.
That sucks.
Yeah, we had
I think part of it is because they, if you're going to be performing in front of people, like you need to be okay to like audition in front of people is like probably the thinking behind it, but it is a very awkward and nerve-wracking experience.
Yeah. We had chamber choir at my school, which was like an exclusive choir within the choir, and we had to like audition in front of everybody as well. That was very nerve-wracking and not very fun.
Stressful.
But for this person who's trying out for Belle, what advice do we have for her?
My advice is to do it, because you're going to regret not doing something that you like and enjoy and that you want to do. And who knows? Try to just focus on what I do when I'm doing any presentation like that, is focus on a point in the wall above everyone's heads instead of on any single person. So you're not making eye contact and feeling awkward and then like getting awkward in whatever your presentation is. Yeah. What do you guys do? You're
probably a lot better than you think you are. You're probably just being too hard on yourself and saying that you think that everybody's going to judge you. I bet nobody's really even. Yeah. Like maybe if they judge you, it'll be like a 5-second thing and they'll move on with their lives, But
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, it's less like you're projecting what you think they're gonna be feeling, when in reality, like most people are probably just concerned with like their own stuff, and like they might be dreaming about what they're gonna get for dinner later tonight, and you think that they're like judging your performance. So yeah, be easier on yourself. And even if someone does have like a fleeting judgment, Like, you're doing something you're excited to do and you're passionate about and that you have a lot of fun doing, and that should be more important. So
yeah,
go for it.
The thing is, like, with auditions, I guess it's inherently you're going to be judged by the person. Like, that's what an audition is. So you just gotta kind of think about it as you're doing this for you, and it doesn't matter what they think, because you're going to have a fun time. And if it doesn't work out, the worst thing that happens is it doesn't work out. Everyone else there is also auditioning. Everyone else there is also nervous and feeling what you're feeling. So it's not something that you're alone in. Also, it's try to, like, so everyone out there that's judging is also just like, oh my God, I have to go do what she's doing.
And also, if you don't make it, it doesn't necessarily mean that, like, you're bad or awful. It just means that you might not have been right for that part. Like, you know, there's other people auditioning, and, like, the director, whoever is in charge, might have a certain vision of, like, who they want for that part. It might not be you, but it might be you. And either way, like, you go and you give it your best.
Yeah, and, like, if it's something you're really passionate about, and, like, you do feel like afterward that you wanted the lead, but maybe you got a supporting role, like, I guess, like, there's voice lessons and stuff just to, like, help you get to that point that you want to be at. Yeah.
You should definitely go for it, because this could also open up the door for more opportunities, and you don't want to miss that as well.
Yeah, and it can also open the door to, like, a whole new, you know, group of people that you can get close with and bond with and have great memories and all that.
Even if you just get a supporting role, that's going to open the door for that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Do we have another one?
Cool. Kat, do you have one?
Here's one that's almost a little bit related to that last one, which is, how do you post a video knowing every time you do, people can attack your insecurities?
Ooh.
You know, the thing with the video is, like, even if people, like, attack you in some way, usually people are nice on the internet. Like, they're looking to be friends. But if people do attack you for some insecurity, usually it's a rando and it's like a one-off comment. And you get used to it, because usually that comment is the same one that'll come around like some stupid, like, mine is my teeth. Like, I'll get the occasional, like forking horse teeth, you ugly bitch, or something. And I'm just like, okay. It's like, they're usually really just skin deep sort of stupid stuff that you get over pretty quickly. But my whole point here was that the video, like, memory cycle is like a week at tops, you know, and there's, like, so many videos coming in. So if they say something, like, it'll be forgotten, you know, really quickly. What do you guys have to say there?
I think it's also something that you kind of warm up to and get used to a little bit, because, like, when I first started posting videos and I would get rude comments, they would affect me a lot more, because I was like, you know, it's my own insecurities. Like, someone would leave a comment about something mean that I thought about myself. And I'm like, how dare you? But also I'm like, well, you know, no one is meaner than, like, you can be to yourself sometimes. And I think another thing is that it's about knowing, like, how much you want to share and, like, what parts of you want to share. Like, I personally have zero problems, like, talking about books I love and shows I love and stuff like that. Because if someone comes at me for, like, my book taste and they think that, like, my taste in books is dumb, I'm just like, so what? But that's another reason why, like, I don't share a ton of, like, super personal things to me that, like, I would be more upset if someone attacked those things. So, like, attack my taste in books all you want, but that's all you're getting from me.
Yeah. I had a thought and it just left me.
Oh no.
I mean,
maybe it'll come back.
The thing is, you know, that is what's hard about being in the public eye in a way. Like, people will scrutinize you, and like, not when you're first posting though. Like, but you'll have one video that, like, goes a little viral, and then that's when you'll get your first mean comment. Mm-hmm. And the more you share yourself with the internet, the more you're open to people saying things. But, like, you kind of, with time, develop a thicker and thicker skin for that sort of thing. I mean, and and there are different levels. Like you'll reach a new level of like putting yourself out there, and then stuff will hit you hard again. But then you go through the same process where like eventually you'll move past it because it does. What matters is what you think of what you're doing, and there will always be people who appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah, I think that's the key message, is that for every person who's like leaving a rude or hateful comment or like judging you in any way, there's so many other people who are finding entertainment from your videos, or finding help from it, or finding some sort of comfort or like acceptance, or like seeing themselves in your videos. So there's a balance there, and for the most part, it's worth it.
Yeah. The Red Wolf said people don't know how much not to share these days. And that is the thing. I feel like sometimes people get so caught up in sharing, they expose like super vulnerable parts of themselves that maybe you didn't want to share. Like you don't have to share everything of yourself. It's not required.
Right.
And it's nice to keep some things to yourself. And it's like that in this growing age where it's like share every detail of your life. It's you have that pressure on you sometimes where it's like I have to share, but you don't. You like never have to share. Like Kat said, like you can pick and choose what you share. Oh, it's my turn to have an advice here. Okay. Dear Booksplosion, I have an issue with my bed being covered in cat hair all the time. I have 4 cats, and obviously it makes sense that cat hair would make its way to my bed. However, I literally clean all the cat hair off my bed every single day, but every single day my bed ends up covered in cat hair again. There's so much cat hair on my bed. You could probably use it as a blanket. Please help me with some advice on how to limit the amount of cat hair on my bed. Sincerely, Brittany. Okay, Brittany. Don't let the cats on your bed.
I feel like we
answered this one.
We did this last time.
Yeah. I feel like we just got a lot of cat stuff. Like, I don't think this is the same one because it's not deleted off our doc.
That might have been us just not deleting it off the doc.
Okay. Well, did we talk about getting a spray water can and spraying them every time they get on your bed? Because I think that was a thing with a bookshelf. They were like,
we also recommended a small like handheld vacuum cleaner and like putting a throw blanket down. Yeah, we've done this.
I feel like we got a lot of cat questions because I kept being examples of pet questions and very like stories. Get a dog that doesn't shed and put the cats in another room. Our cats' names are Percy, Jackson, Simon, Lewis, Frederick, and Lucas. I don't remember this.
I remember that.
Okay, should I do a different one?
Yeah.
Okay. Look, another cat one. Dear Booksplosion, my cat Gracie is an outdoor cat only due to family allergies. However, we had our friend's dog over and didn't see her sleeping on our porch. One of her dogs tried to eat her, and we haven't seen her since.
I feel like we did this one too.
I don't know if we did this one.
I don't think we did this one, but we talked about it, maybe?
We talked about it when we copied and pasted it in here, I think. But, oh my gosh, this is horrifying, and I don't know what to do. I'm sorry. Should I get a non-cat question? Does you guys have advice on how to find a lost cat?
No, I've
put up signs.
Put up signs. Go around the neighborhood looking for her.
Neighbors, ask if they've seen it.
It's probably super late too. She said this was like months ago.
I hope you found your cat. Let us know.
Let us know, yeah.
Please.
Okay, let's see. Where's one that we haven't done? Okay, so I'm starting college. Oh, wait, yeah. Okay, so I'm starting college in a couple of weeks, and I'm struggling with the fact that I won't have my library close by. My college is 2 hours away. I don't know if I really have time to read, but if I do, what do I do? I also won't have a car to drive myself to a local library, and I don't have money to buy books. Anyway, thanks for your help. I'm a broke college student. Well, there are apps, library apps now, aren't there? Where you can like e-read books and listen to audiobooks. So technology has got your back there.
Also, this person said they're going to college, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
there's probably a library there.
Usually college, like campuses have a library, I believe.
Yeah.
And they have like a lot of fiction books and stuff too, not just like, stuff for studies.
They should. I've never really explored my college library because I never left to go to it.
But
I'm pretty sure they had a crap load of books.
for sure.
But I think the apps about libraries is a very key point, because you can get ebooks and audiobooks from libraries, and you don't even have to go to the actual library. So like from your dorm room, you just like get the app, and you have to like sign up for a card through the library app. But then you can check out ebooks and audiobooks and stuff like that, which would be very helpful, especially so you don't have to like cart the like physical books around with you.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and like if you're one of those anti-ebookers, honestly, the more you start to read ebooks on your phone, the more you're like, dang, I read much faster and much more efficiently with this.
Oh, I thought of something else. Spotify now has audiobooks.
Yes.
No way.
It's like a limited amount, like only a select ones, like from certain publishers currently. But I know Epic Reads is one of them. So there are like Harper Teen audiobooks up on Spotify that you can just listen to. So I mean, there's like advertisements, like that's how the authors get paid. But it's like a legit. You can legally listen to audiobooks on Spotify now.
Is this a thing like someone's gonna rise up like Taylor Swift did and be like, you're not paying for the books, so don't do it this way?
Something I don't know. That seems kind of fishy about like ebook contracts and like are the authors getting paid for this? Like how much? Like what? I don't know the exact terms of this, but we'll see if there's any fallout from that.
Yeah, people are saying Overdrive, Hoopla. I've heard of those as well.
Yeah, those are great.
Yeah.
So definitely check that out. Also, he mentioned something about like having time for reading.
Having time for, she said, I don't know if I'm going to have time for reading, but if I do, what do I do? And in college, you really got to make that time. And you make it by less sleeping. Sorry, Jesse, go ahead.
Don't stress about the not reading thing. Like it's okay to like have a time in your life where you're not reading actively. And you should really be focusing on your studies. But obviously, you should make time for reading too.
Yeah, sometimes like reading is how you kind of relax and like unwind. So and make the time if that's like your you time. You need that to, reset.
Correct. All right. Okay. I just had one and then I missed it. This is kind of a long one, so bear with me. Dear Booksplosion, while I am in school, more specifically during study hall or when I have all of my work done already, don't anger your teachers by not doing your work. I like to read and write while listening to not popular music. This is not what bothers me. I really don't give a crap about what other people think until they comment on it to my face. Last year I was working on a group project and we were all allowed to listen to music. I only had one earbud in because it's a polite thing to do when you are listening to music while talking to someone, having only one earbud in. The girl grabbed the other earbud and then proceeded to comment on my music, and it wasn't good things. As a little context, I was listening to Regina Spektor and Bon Iver, and unless you listen to popular/cool music, you are weird at my school. She then grabbed my computer and attempted to make a SoundCloud account for me.
That's an overstep.
All the while she's making fun of me for liking to read and write. This is past the point of just a paranoia thing where I need to get out of my own head. Now going into freshman year of high school, I am scared to read, write, and listen to music in school. What should I do about this?
Did they say if this person was their friend or just like somebody?
They didn't specify that they were friends, no.
Okay, so
this person kind of trying to be friends, but not very great at it.
Yeah, they're trying to be friends by doing that thing where like you like kind of knock each other's taste and then like ha 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 ha. But like out of the blue, it's not the best way to build the friendship. But like maybe that's just what they're comfortable doing is like commenting on like the stuff it's probably they're trying to be friends and
they're trying to get away and to talk to you. Like they were interested in what music that you were listening to. And I mean, their way of engaging with that information was like teasing you for it. But I don't, from the sounds of it, it doesn't sound like it was like a malicious, mean thing because then they were like, oh, let me make you this account and like, let me show you some other music. Like it sounded like they were trying to be friendly it was just like a miscommunication, something wasn't lining up thing.
It's just like you don't want like that type of interaction with your friend. Like you're paranoid about the stuff you like, and then they come and like push that insecurity, I guess. Yeah, I remember in high school, like one of the girls we were friends with, like only listened to what we called indie crap, which was just like not mainstream music. And we would all be like, "Oh, are you listening to indie crap?" Like, yeah, and I'm gonna make you an indie crap CD so you guys can listen to it. But like it was people like Rooney and stuff, like, and Postal Service, and it's just like not mainstream music. And in high school, you're just like, you know, it's just something that you're like, you haven't opened up your world to all of that stuff yet. If you're not super into music, which it sounds like you are, and you've like spent more time kind of looking up and listening to artists that maybe not everyone else is. What do you guys think? Why is it so quiet?
I already said I don't have anything really more to add. Except I do want to say, try not to feel awkward. Like you said that you were afraid to like read and write and like listen to music now because like you didn't want people to like see that and like use that as a way to like attack you or like engage with you in a not necessarily nice way. That can be difficult, but I don't want that to affect you from like not doing something that you love because you're afraid of like what someone else might think about it. Which, you know, obviously you also don't want to do something that's going to make you uncomfortable and like put you in a position where you don't feel safe at all. But I would encourage you to not give up on reading or writing or listening to music in public if like just being teased about it is like what's stopping you from doing it. Because if you love those things, like do those things, and maybe someone who wants to be your friend in not such an abrasive, blunt way might see you doing that and like, I don't know, want to approach you because of that.
Yeah, honestly, like I would take it, you know, try not to take it in a personal way and like turn it right back around and be like, why? What are you listening to? Like, what kind of music do you like that you think yours is so much better? And kind of try to start a discussion that way. Because again, like it doesn't seem like they were trying to be mean. They were like trying to engage with you. And usually like your music and what you're reading and all that stuff is what people use to start a conversation when they haven't talked to you before. So it's great that you have them all there. And I think like there's nothing wrong with like casually defending your stuff when stuff like that comes up. You know, you don't have to let them walk all over, you know, without being like questioning them about their own tastes and having a healthy debate.
And you know, if you're not the kind of person who would want to like confront or debate about that, then like maybe that person is just not a good friendship match.
Yeah, if you feel like you can and you feel like maybe they are, or if it like maybe that person has a crush on you or something, and this is their way of like trying to like get to know you and talk to you, because that sounds like something someone who has a crush on someone and doesn't know how to engage would do.
That's like the pulling on your braids version, like listening, like making fun of their music, like pulling on the headphone and like
yeah.
Okay.
Whose turn is it?
I have one. Okay. This one is about taking a break from writing. So you've all made writing vlogs at one point or another. Christine even has a book out. I know that a big common piece of writing advice is to just keep plowing through regardless of how you're feeling or what's going on. But obviously everyone needs a break once in a while. How can you tell if your need for a break is legitimate?
What do you guys think?
This is a tricky one. One that I fall into a lot because I tend to blur the line between procrastination and legitimate break. But breaks are important. I think it's just something that you have to kind of sit with yourself and ask, like, am I taking a break because I've been like overworking myself and I need to like consume some media, like read some books, watch some shows, refill the well? Like, am I in that stage, or am I taking a break because I'm afraid of working on my book, or because I'm procrastinating, or because I don't feel like it's good enough. And like those negative feelings are what's making me want to stay away. So it's just about like kind of being with yourself and thinking for a little bit, like, how do you really feel about the book? Like, why are you taking the break?
Yeah. The way I usually gauge it is if I've been working on the book for a very long period of time and I'm not seeing like if something's bothering you about it and you can't sense like how to fix it, that's when I feel like, okay, you need to take a break. Like you've been like working on it and going around in circles and it's frustrating and nothing's working. Like if you're just trying to, work on the book and you just feel like you're going very slow and you keep stopping, I feel like that's the time that maybe you have to be like, okay, I'm just making excuses because like Kat said, like maybe I'm just like feeling insecure, or like I'm, just not focusing and all that stuff, and kind of buckle down and give yourself like a schedule. Like maybe just do half an hour, and just like time yourself, and when you're done, step away.
Yes, he made it so it's just us. Maybe he left out. But yeah, I was gonna add on to that, like, if you don't want to fall out of the daily grind too much, like set a very small goal, like you need to write 100 words a day or for 20 minutes a day. Because that way, like, you can still like stay on the grind a little bit and like still keep in your book world. But you don't have to like be on that like hard grind anymore. You can just like do very small daily goals and not step away completely, and see if that helps you work through it for a little while. Like maybe you need to do a week where you just work for half an hour a day and that's it. Like even if you're in a flow, you're just like, oh, well, that's my half an hour, just to kind of get that motivation back and to get you like ready for the next day. Like, oh, I did my half an hour of writing, but I'm still in the mood to write. Like I can't wait until tomorrow to do my half an hour of writing. And then like, obviously you adjust your goal so that you can write for longer.
Yes.
Jesse, any thoughts on writing breaks?
No, I'm just writing down this advice in my mind because I'm going through one. I actually had a question. I had a question for you guys. So when you're taking a break, though, are you
go away?
Oh no.
Or did she just go away?
She's gone.
Why did you go away?
You guys were like skipping, so I just refreshed.
It happened to her too.
Hello?
There you are.
What is your question?
My question, I hadn't gotten to it yet. My question is, when you're taking that break, are you doing things to actively stay inspired and like working through the things that you think you're having issues with in your story? Or like, what are you doing? Are you just completely cutting yourself off from that project and taking time away from it? What are you doing in that time?
The story never leaves the back of my head.
Yeah.
Like I always kind of think about it. Even on days when I'm not working on it at all, I'm like, should I work on, like, I think maybe I should. Or even just like, I'll be like doing the dishes or something and like thinking about a scene later in the book or like something else that I want to do. So I don't often like disengage completely for a long period of time unless I'm like switching to another project. But yeah, I always have it somewhere in the back of my head.
I take like different kinds of breaks. So like if there's like a thing that's not working and I'm frustrated, usually, it'll be on my brain and then like it'll click in one of those moments. Like I'm thinking about it in the shower, or like I'm thinking about it on a long drive, or just like in the most unexpected of times, it'll pop up and like click. And in those moments is also when I'm watching films with like the similar themes that also helps keep you like creatively motivated and thinking in terms of a story structure. But if it's one of those times where it's like you just finished a manuscript and you're taking a break, like I just try to just drop it out of your mind because you need to go in with fresh eyes, and that's when you take like the vacation break.
Yeah, I really agree with that. Between drafts, I disengage completely because I want to like be able to come at it with a fresh mind. But if it is like something isn't working, I'm not feeling inspired, something like that, then I do tend to like keep it in mind and be thinking about it. But I found that like taking breaks doesn't actually help that much with that. It's like actually working on it is what helps you like break through most of the time.
It's when you take a break to think about it. Like it's when you take that shower break specifically to like mull over this.
Work through it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you can step away from the manuscript and your brain is still working.
Right.
But if you step away from it and like decide you don't want to think about it, you usually don't click until you're like engaging again with the issue in your mind.
Right.
Yeah. None of my problems are solved unless I'm like engaging with them in some way, even if that's just thinking about them directly. But very rarely will I like wake up all of us and be like, "That's the idea came to me in a dream." I must.
When that happens, it's amazing.
Yeah, definitely. But you can't bank on that. So factor that into your process.
But you can usually, like, if you're meditating on it in a calm space where you're not distracted, like you can usually bank on, like, you do that enough, you're gonna like click because you're thinking through it. You're not just like sitting in like the wilderness.
But I do think like actually working on it is what is the best way to get through those blocks, because like productivity breeds more productivity. So keeping that momentum is very helpful if you can manage it at all, even if you're just writing for a very small amount each day.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's what I was having. I'm working on another project and I was having trouble like structuring it, and I just had to keep like going through it and then taking a break and then come back and just go through it again until it finally clicked. And that's one of those things where like it's not going to work unless you like are there doing it. Yeah. So it depends on the project, depends on the issue. You got to gauge it.
Yeah. And sometimes you do just need that distance to be able to assess properly. Like if you're too close to something, one problem that I just recently overcame is I was really like attached to this dialogue exchange that I had, and it was just like throwing off the entire chapter because it like it messed up the flow, and like it was a kind of out of tone, and like it was just kind of weird. But I loved it so much, and I finally just had to get rid of it and put it in the scrap folder because it wasn't working for the chapter. And like it's
like sometimes you get really attached to a scene, and like maybe it like whatever little thing you're attached to will work in a separate scene, and then you can count the other scene and it's okay, and then all of a sudden you're like, it's working. I feel like that's most of the time when you're trying to like shorten stuff that you get stuck on like those ones that are like, I love this.
Yeah.
Whose turn is it? Is it my turn?
I just went. I think
Why can't I remember a simple roundabout order? Okay. Hey, Booksplosion, I ran out of bookshelf space and I need another one. Would you all recommend getting a matching bookshelf or getting one that is different from my current one? Is non-matching bookshelves okay? Is it weird? Help me with my dilemma. Much appreciated, Kendra. Now, my opinion on this is get a different one.
Spice up your bookshelf collection.
I mean, like, if you look at my bookshelf collection, they're all like random freaking weird ass things that don't match. But like Jesse and Kat have like a nice like room full of books. So
I have some different bookshelves though.
Yeah, you just don't see them in your videos as much. Yeah, that's I know you have like the cool ones that are like on the wall.
Yeah.
I'm just used to seeing these three.
Yeah. It really depends on what you like. Like
it depends on personal taste.
Yeah.
So. It depends on what you like, and also depends on what your space is like. Like in this room, that's not the side my bookshelves are on. In this room, I wanted my shelves to match here, but I actually bought a bookshelf that's like one of those cube ones. It's like the 3x3 cube.
I've always debated getting those.
I bought it like a year ago and I haven't assembled it. But I have it, and like I intend to have it downstairs. So like since it's in a different room, it doesn't need to like match these ones to be like the nice lined up wall that I have in mind. But yeah, I have 2 tall ones and 3 short ones, and then I'm gonna get a different style one downstairs because it's in a different room. So why not?
It's okay to have different style bookshelves if you want, and it's okay to get matching ones if you like it like that. Yeah, I just like I like all mine just having different looks. But then you risk like I have one, it's hard to find different looking ones sometimes, and then the one that it's in my room has like weirdly spaced out shelves toward the bottom, so like the bottom 2 shelves are kind of worthless to me because it's just like there's a big giant gap, so books have to be either like just in straight up forking piles. Nobody wants that.
as you have piles of books all over your apartment.
No. These are my donate boxes, but they're so heavy that like I need to schedule with John to help me to get them out of here.
Yeah.
You've always kind of had like different bookshelves than most people, though, because like didn't you like have bookshelves in your closet last?
Well, they were built into the closet, and I was like, "This is my new bookshelf." When we moved in, it was there, and I was like, "I've never had a bookshelf before." I just like I had them stacked in my closet before.
Right.
Good times.
Yes. Throwback. All right. Our next one. Hey guys, I was wondering if you have any advice for me. All of my friends. Oh.
What?
Chrissy deleted something in the whole doc.
I was like, what just happened?
Sorry.
All of my friends have recently started to really invest themselves into their dating lives, leaving me kind of in the dust. I do want to be in a relationship also, but I've been told I kind of have that don't F with me vibe. I just want someone to hang out with at this point, whether it be a significant other or just my friends back. Any suggestions?
Well, don't get into a relationship just because you're
Just because you're wanting some like friendship. Don't jump
You can talk to your friend and like be like, "Hey, I just feel like you're not like putting any time aside for me. Can we like set a day to hang out?"
Yeah.
Once you make her more aware of it, hopefully she'll see that she's, been kind of excluding you from her life.
Communication is the most important thing in a relationship, and if you're not communicating that to your friend, and then they'll never know like how you're feeling in the situation and stuff. So.
And it's also a big shift in a friendship, especially if this is like the first time that that's happened. The first time that they've had a significant other while you guys have been friends, because you have to like. Your life changes, like your daily habits change, like your routines change because of this new relationship. And even though you're not even the one in the relationship, like your routines and habits and like hanging out with your friend are changing because of their relationship. So it's just something to get used to and something that you both have to figure out how to work around now about like making time for each other and how to fit into each other's lives with like more going on and stuff like that. So what Jesse said, communication, like just gotta talk to them.
Yeah. I feel like this is a thing that like I experienced a lot like in college. Like my closest roommate freshman year had a boyfriend and like he would come over like every other weekend and I wouldn't know what to do with myself because I'd either be like the third wheel or just like have no one to hang out with at all. And it was like it's just a weird situation. If you're in that situation, we've already talked to them about it and you still feel like it's still happening. You got to like try to find other people to hang out with that will like value you and like make time for you, which is hard.
I think you think about it like your friend has this new partner and it's like taking up a lot of their time, like almost like they have a new hobby. So like maybe you should try getting a new hobby, like join a new like. If you want to meet friends, like hang out with new people, try that. Like join some other group or club, or I don't know, make friends with someone at work or at a place that you like to go to often enough.
It's a new challenge for you to like kind of put yourself out there. But like you have nothing to lose when you're like joining something and trying to find friendship. Like, you can only gain friends if it doesn't work out. You don't have any new friends, but you still had the experience of like doing the club or doing whatever thing you signed up for.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of the time in those situations, like those other people in that club or group are also looking to make friends. Like it is very rare that you'll find someone who, even if they do have like a don't F with me kind of look, who actually are like, don't talk to me at all, like kind of attitude. So yeah, it's just about putting yourself out there a little bit to meet new people and to also talk with your existing friends about like how you can still have things to do together and like still make sure your friendship is strong. Is it my turn for a question?
Yes.
Is it? Okay, cool.
Here's one that's kind of fun. Says, hello, awesome trio. If you could work or live in a library, which one would it be and why? question inspired by one of Jesse's videos from the Red Wolf, who I think I saw is in the chat today. So hi.
Hi, Red Wolf. Which video this was from? Let me know.
If you could work or live in a library. It really makes me think of the archived Victoria Schwab's series, which just is going to be a new show on the CW. I'm so excited.
I would want to work in the Hogwarts library.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
They didn't ask for a specific library that you want to work in.
Wait, what? I thought that was the question.
No, just if you want to work or live in a library. Not specific.
Which one would it be?
Oh.
Yeah. Which one? Hogwarts
one.
My bad. I'm sorry.
Like, wasn't that the question?
That I want to work in the archived library.
I would actually.
Be fun.
I want to work in Hogwarts or at the London Institute in their library, but only like if I had a secret like hiding space so that when it gets attacked, I can be safe because I'm not a shadow hunter.
I want to work in the Lost Library of Alexandria.
But it's lost, Kat. It burned down in a fire.
I still want to work there. It didn't say it had to still be around. It just said which one would you want to work at?
And you're just like in a dirt space, being like, I'm working the Alexandria. What is that woman doing in that patch of burned ground?
She's a librarian. Let her be.
She's mourning. There's a really cool library in Carnival Row. I don't know if you guys have watched the second episode yet. I think it's in the second episode. Yeah, it's like in the Feylands, and it just goes straight up, and so you have to be able to fly to like access all the book stacks. But it's cool. It just spirals up into the mountain.
That sounds.
I know. Emily said Library of Souls. Anyone? And I was like, I haven't read that one, but Jesse might want to. I don't know what the Library of Souls is.
I won't say that one because of a spoiler.
Okay, yeah, don't spoil anything. Jesse, what library would you live at? The Archived or Library of Souls?
Yeah.
Choose a real one.
No.
Oh, a real library?
You know, to get into the Archived library, you need to die.
No, I didn't say it.
You shrug.
That's pretty much like all of Victoria Schwab's.
Yeah, true.
You have to die to like have something happen.
Really?
Like a near-death experience. A real library.
I don't want to work at a library.
This one that I went to in Korea, I'd so work there.
There's this library in Korea that's like the biggest library in the world, and it's beautiful.
I want to pull it up if I can.
I remember seeing a picture of it before, and I was like, I need to go there now.
The Boston Public Library is really nice.
That is a nice one.
But I want to work at a library.
Look, that's the. Oh wait.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah.
Hey, look at all those shelves.
So, like, how do you get to those shelves? Do they just not? You don't take books out of it.
Decoration.
Yeah, the top ones are definitely decoration, but it's still beautiful.
Is it my turn?
Yes, it's your turn.
There's so many on here that I don't remember if we've done or not.
So I've been choosing from the bottom.
You want to just do like one more and then
Sure.
go over our books of the month?
Yeah. Let's see if there's a fun one. Okay, Dear Booksplosion. No. Sorry. That was the one that we kind of did.
My advice to you is yes.
Say yes.
Just say yes.
Okay, here's one. Okay. Dear Booksplosion. Hi, I emailed in the last Dear Booksplosion about my boyfriend. Well, we're broken up now, but I want to stay friends. Any tips on setting boundaries? Do you think you can be friends with your ex? Best, Anon. Now, this is like a very hard topic, and I feel like it's like there's much debate on it.
Yeah.
I personally don't know how one can be friends with an ex if you've been with them for like, if you've been together with them for like a certain amount of time. I feel like it gets really hard because you have all these memories and you're trying to like move forward, but it's hard to move forward if they're there in your life still present, because you keep thinking like, there's kind of like, he's there, so will it work out again? Isn't that like just inherently in the back of your mind? Yeah. Also, when you break up, it's just like you're so, I don't know. It's just like you broke up for a reason and you need space. Yeah. What do you guys have?
It really depends on how emotionally invested you were.
Yeah.
At the time of the relationship. Like I would say like a 6 to 8 month long relationship is kind of a no-no. Even longer than that, it's like you might want to give it some time after that relationship and then maybe come back and see if you can be friends. But you definitely need that time apart. I feel like.
Yeah, to like grow separately.
Yeah.
Because something wasn't working together.
Yeah, yeah.
So I have a differing opinion on it a little bit. I absolutely believe that you do need distance after the breakup before you can learn how to be friends again. But I don't think that you necessarily can't be friends again. I was in a 6-year relationship and we broke up because we felt more like friends than more like a romantic relationship. Like that was a big factor in that. And so immediately after the breakup, we did take time and space apart and we didn't really talk or hang out much. But then like a year and a half later, we slowly started talking a little bit more and we got back to a more friendly place. Cause like we were together for like 6 years. So like practically family at that point. Like, so it like, and I know that like he'll always be someone who like was important to me and was important to me during that stage of my life. But we know that like we didn't ultimately work in that partnership, but we're still friends. And like we aren't like close friends. Like I haven't actually talked to him in a while now. But like if I saw him, like I could be friendly with him and like we'd still have like a friendship. We do know each other so well kind of situation.
It depends on like what your relationship was like before.
Why you broke up.
Yeah. Like a close friend of someone I'm close to is they broke up with their boyfriend because it was like really not working and toxic between the two of them. And then they after a couple weeks were like they didn't know how to be without each other because they've been together for so long. And like then they just started hanging out all the time and now they're actually together, but like the same issues are still there. And it's kind of, so it's like you need that time apart to kind of get over it. But I like definitely I think if you've both moved on and healthy, there's definitely a way. It depends.
When it's right after that relationship ends though, like you're not thinking straight, your emotions and your thoughts are still like clouded by this relationship. So yeah, I think you definitely do need to take some time away. How much time depends on how long the relationship was. Like if you were only dating for a couple months, then like maybe you just need a couple weeks away to like clear the space a little bit. But if you were together for a very long time, then you might not be able to be friends until like years down the road. And you have to like learn how to be without that person in your life and see like what kind of life you can have without them before you know if you want them back in it, kind of.
Yeah. And also like depends on your personality, I guess. Like if that person just doesn't, if you can't be around that person without feeling maybe like you did feel when you broke up, or it just all depends. It's just like,
or if there's any kind of jealousy things, like if you see that person in a new relationship and you can't handle that, then you can't be friends with them.
Yeah, it's just like you need space.
I got you. Yeah, Jesse.
What did you say?
Sorry, Ariana Grande song.
I don't know the words.
Doesn't matter. Anyway, we're gonna go back over our books of the month for the rest of
I've just like loved this so much. I'm so excited to talk about it.
Frankly in Love, our live show is going to be on October 5th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So be sure to pick this book up, read it, join us. It's great. We all recommend it. Well, Kat hasn't finished
I
it.
haven't finished it yet.
And don't forget to send us for next month. We're doing fears and anxieties, your boggart, like write in about what your biggest fears, biggest anxieties, and fun stories about them. And
any Halloween themed things you need advice on?
Yeah, any October themed advice too, to send that in. And we'll be talking about our, anxieties, fears, boggarts, comparing. It'll be super fun. What date is that? Do we have a date?
I don't think we have a date yet. We'll announce it shortly.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Then
mid-October.
yeah, Sounds of Silence.
We're reading Fountains of Silence in October. Super excited about this. We all love Ruta Sepetys. And then in November, we are reading Cursed by Frank Miller and Thomas Wheeler.
Yeah, and both of those books come out on October 1st, right at the start of October. So one's October book of the month, then November book of the month.
That's that.
Yeah.
Very exciting. So hopefully you guys join us. And we're excited to talk about this in October 5th.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming, and thank you for sending in your questions. We have so much fun answering them every month, and I'm excited to have a theme month. We're going to start doing themes, and it's going to be SMF. Why doesn't anyone say the word SMF anymore? Why isn't that a thing?
Because it's not 2006 anymore?
So everyone says weird stuff nodding my head. What is that one that's honestly
TBH?
I hate TBH. It's always used
all the time.
It's used to say mean things, to be honest. Or there's one that's nodding my head or shaking my head.
SMH.
Yeah. What the hell is that? SMF? It can't be a thing anymore, but SMH can. This is BS. Sorry, I'm gonna use the word SMF today. I love SMF. It was my favorite thing.
Wait, what is SMF? I don't even know what that means.
So much fun.
So much fun.
Oh.
I only vaguely know that one. I'm not enough people on Twitter use that, so I didn't know.
You're not old enough for that.
Rothel and SMF are my favorite abbreviations.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We will see you October 5th for our Frankly in Love live show. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
This is going to take a while because I clicked it.